is going on, my friend? Welcome to the video. My name is Brando Linick, and this is going to be a candid conversation on how to actually start and open up your own business. I'm going to share with you my personal experience when it comes to this. I'm also going to share with you some examples to kind of illustrate how by the end of this video you can build a business to get the results that you want, whether that's to build a business to have time freedom, to travel more, to move your family into a bigger, better home. Alright, this is critical, because there's a lot of hurdles that come up and along the way when it comes to businesses, depending on the type you're looking for. And if you don't understand this, then you could fall into the pitfall of grinding your gears and then, not making any money or making tiny checks that aren't even enough to feed a baby, and then you'll eventually quit the business and go back to a job. And if you don't want to do that, alright, it's important you know this and pay attention. Now, and the example I want to use actually in this video to kind of illustrate my experience when it comes to starting businesses over like the last 4 years, some of them worked, some of them didn't work, is actually a Pinkberry franchise business. And the reason why I want to touch base on this is because when it comes to a franchise business model, a lot of people completely overlook the fact that yes, it is a franchise, which means you're buying into the name, the brand, because people already like, know, and trust it, and you're getting all that. Now, it's the same workload that's required with a traditional business if you were to start it from scratch. Okay, you got to keep in mind you're maintaining equipment, supplies, employees, and with a Pinkberry business, even though it can cost you anywhere from like $50,000 up to and over $100,000 to start, all right, as an upfront investment, not to even keep in mind your franchising fees and management fees and maintenance fees, not talking about any of that stuff, but just the upfront initial investment from $50,000 to over $100,000 to start, even though it's in a ballpark of that, okay, and it can be as simple as, having that investment and getting started. I would advise you, if you're looking at going into franchising, just know that you are going to be dealing with supplies, equipment, employees, all that stuff. There is work required. This is not franchising to get rich quick, okay? There's work required, and like anything in business, you got to apply it, you got to be consistent, you got to learn things, and you got to put in the work, which is why if you're looking at starting a franchise because you want to be your own boss, you want to create leverage, time freedom, flexibility, if that's what you're looking for, I would actually advise you before you consider starting franchising, whether that's with a Pinkberry business or a McDonald's business, alright, before you head down the road of franchising, alright, I've got a lead I want to throw your way. If you're only looking at business because you want to build an income where you can do what you want, when you want, whenever you want, if that's what you're looking for, my story and experience with this goes back about, I would say it was like 15 months ago at the time of me shooting this video. It was September 2014. I'm not good with dates, as you can tell. That may have been like 13 months ago or 14. I'm not too sure. But anyway, right? Some of you can correct me if I'm wrong, down in the comments below. But 15 months ago, we'll go with that. I was, working in my own business, dealing with supplies, equipment, employees, and the whole workload associated with it. It wasn't allowing me to do what I wanted to do. And some of you will be able to relate to this who've owned businesses before, where you're working harder than your employees, where you're putting in more work, and the more work you put in, you're still not being able to have that time freedom at the end of the day to spend more time with your family, to take them out on vacations. And because I wasn't able to do that, it was getting very frustrating. And luckily I came across a person at that time who I was friends with on Facebook, started to notice that they were traveling a lot, building a business at the same time, and reached out to them. And in a period of less than 90 days, I'd put my traditional business off to the side, started to model and copy what they were doing because they weren't dealing with supplies or equipment or employees. This person, alright, who I'd come in contact with through Facebook, was building a business traveling, doing so on the internet, from home, alright, and they're dealing with digital products and digital information with, services that they're offering. So they weren't dealing with physical products, they were dealing with digital and, digital products and services and information. So they weren't dealing with shipping and handling, they weren't dealing with, back orders, and they weren't dealing with, I guess you could say, processing fees in a sense when it comes to that, and inventory, which was really attractive to me. And because they weren't dealing with that, they didn't need supplies, equipment, employees. So they were making a high multiple six-figure income. I started to model and copy what they're doing and was able to create those results, a full-time income business working part-time in 90 days, and haven't looked back since. And if you get anything out of that, it's if you're looking to start a business because you want time, freedom, leverage, and flexibility, learn how to create a leveraged business model where you can have a lot of the things like supplies and equipment out of the way, where you don't have to deal with those things, and you can create more time freedom when you don't have to deal with those things. All right, and from a business perspective, if that's what you're looking for, then I'd strongly suggest looking into building a business online. So that's just my 2 cents. That's my tip, my personal experience. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I've put together for you. And if you do want to learn a little bit more information about how to actually build a business on the internet, if you're serious, if you're coachable, if you're trainable, willing to learn some things, all right, not looking to get rich quick and push a button and everything handed over to you overnight, because just like on the internet and off the internet, you got to put in work, you got to learn stuff. But if you're not afraid of that, then I'll put a link down below to my site. It's 123marketingtips.com, and I'll personally connect with you from there. And have an awesome one, my friend. Take care.